Hey everybody, this is Jerichos, and welcome to the finale of Eternal Darkness. Last time, we went through Michael Edwards' story, which was kind of epic and pretty fun playing as a badass firefighter. And he was one of a very select few who did not die at the end of their story, instead bringing something to Edward near the end. This time, we're playing as Alex, and we're finally gonna take the fight to Pious and defeat Xel'lotath. I don't know why I said that. Obviously, we're taking the fight to Pious and defeating Chattur'gha.
Master, I am saddened to report the destruction of the Guardian colony at the Ruin of Enga.
I am not without eyes, servant. I knew of their loss as it happened. It is not a concern of mine. The Guardians were merely tools to forward the greater cause. Think of them as casualties of war.
But the balance of power has shifted with their loss.
Nonsense! Balance? There has never been balance. If anything, we shall remove all balance. Our plan continues as predicted. I have seen the future, Pious, and it portends a great battle between myself and the great being of matter. Chattur'gha will fall to my superiority. The power of Chattur'gha is useless against me.
Of course, as it was meant to be. The gates will be readied. Just the same.
We shall overcome. Be patient, my servant. Be patient.
Oh, no. This game is getting to me. Obviously, we've been fighting against Pious and Xel'lotath this whole time, and we're gonna take the fight to them and beat them this time. Okay, small confession. I think this game is starting to wear on me. I feel like I'm being split in 3 different directions. I'm having trouble remembering who we're fighting, what's going on. Well, no choice for it but to just power through. Let's head out and see if we can find out what's going on with that beam of light in the observatory we saw. Also, there's now zombies wandering around. Yep, we got enemies to deal with here. Oh, no, hit him. There you go. Thankfully, nothing we shouldn't be able to handle. Hello. Take y'all out. I don't care about restoring sanity. Luckily, the observatory is literally right here. And you'll notice that we actually have the beam of light hitting this reflective mirror. And you may remember we saw there is a crankshaft and an empty slot below it. Well... It blue screen of death when I try to access the menu. Okay, I love that. Now that we have a crankshaft, we can examine this A crank socket is mounted in the telescope and appears to be linked to a mirror supported by a brass pedestal. Curious contraption to be sure. What purpose can it possibly serve? We can use our crankshaft in the lower slot to adjust. Let's adjust height, adjust side to side, point the light at the next mirror. Go over there. It's also missing one, so we can move our crankshaft over there. Line it up. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as it just touches the next one. Then come to the third one. And perfect. Line it up with the one on the floor. And it shoots light down to that contraption we saw in the basement. Finally opening. Let's head down there and see what awaits us. And go right for the basement. Oh, what? Huh, not a sanity effect. Somebody actually delivered a package to the door and then ran away. Let's take a look at what this is. A package wrapped in brown paper has been left inside the door. Alex has found a brown paper parcel. This is kind of interesting looking. A parcel wrapped in plain brown paper. It's not addressed to anyone. It appears to have been wrapped in a hurry. There might be something inside. Let's open it. We get the essence of Chattur'gha. And if you acquired it with Mike, the enchanted gladius. And Alex can wield it. Go ahead and equip that. Oh yeah, look at that permanently enchanted weapon. And that, with that in hand, got our shield, got our magic at full. Let's head down here. Surprisingly, no enemies in the basement. And this is open. With the lid removed, some kind of well-like entrance is revealed. A ladder leads down into the murky darkness. Was this Edward's route into the Guardian City? Let's climb down the ladder. Alex cannot climb this ladder because the shaft above has been sealed, perhaps by Maximilian Roivas, all those years ago. And we've come here to Enga. As the tome had suggested by Edward's and Maximilian's words, the city exists and is far more incredible than Alex had thought. Here are the ruins of Enga, the corpse city, parasitized by the guardians of Xel'lotath. 9 great towers dwarf the surrounding buildings. It would appear these towers serve as some kind of focusing array, channeling great tides of energy into the city itself. Yeah, if you look at the volume bar going down, no, if you look at the cityscape here, you can actually see the towers kind of off in the distance.
Is it really happening?
So let's head into Enga, and it's going to be a slightly different place than last time we were there. I'm going to go ahead and cast Magic Pool 7-point on blue. Because I'll let you know, Alex is going to need to be casting a good bit of magic, so better to have it constantly refilling. Yeah, check this out. All the debris, the pieces broken. It's kind of cool looking. And they've redecorated. Yeah, it's a giant damaged floor inside. The barriers are back up on the doors, and you may have noticed a brief bit of color right before it panned away from the door. There's a damage field barrier. So let's do Dispel Magic. You need to do 7-point Dominant. The cool thing about this, I did not realize before, or rather I'd forgotten because it's been so long since I played, that Dispel Magic can be anywhere in the room. It does not have to be right next to. So, yeah, all the way at the other end of the room, we were able to cast it and have it take effect. Unfortunately, wait, Dispel Magic got rid of my... Oh, that's crazy. I didn't realize that was going to happen. It got rid of my magic pool because the magic pool was the submissive color. Oh, and I don't have enough. Alright, well, we'll cast that later. cast a big shield, run across, and head all the way up here. I totally didn't realize that Dispel Magic was going to get rid of my own magic pool. Because it was green beating blue. That's crazy. Alright, let's recast it now. And come into this room, which has been a little bit destroyed. These plinths look like the ones Pious had encountered in the Forbidden City, where he found the essences of the ancients. But the podium is heavily damaged, crumbling into rubble and dust. If it's to be used, it must be somehow restored to its former state. Well, wander around. Part of the broken pedestal. Top lies on the floor. This whole giant, portal array seems to not be having any power to it. Not surprising after, Edward demolished this place with magic. So, let's take our fragments, combine them. And now, just a simple enchant.
Enter by Xel'lotath.
Item's been repaired. The top of a display pedestal. Other than it not being attached to the rest of the pedestal, it's in excellent condition. So let's do it. Let's attach it. And now we've got 3 pedestals, but we still don't have power here. What you have to do, use the essences of the gods. Use that one. And finally, essence of Mantarok. And it powers up. Let's see, what does it say now? Artifact is set upon the plinth, channeling its power to the arrays. You know what, while my magic's full, let's go ahead and use it to refresh the shield to full. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, you're going to have to cross that damaged floor a bunch. And now for arguably what some consider one of the worst parts of the game. You know how we went through those 9 different towers with Edward? We're doing it again with Alex. Now, don't get me wrong, it's different, but it still feels a little bit like padding and backtracking. So activate the rune, head back in, and it's going to teleport us, like it did, back to those side rooms. Except this time, instead of enemies, we have puzzles. Here, for example, no floor. Well, this is a relatively simple one. It's just invisible. Cast that, and there we go. Now we can cross. Run across the floor, and we're going to repeat the process. It's kind of neat that they changed up the style of her adventures with these rooms. Whereas Edward was primarily focused on combat, hers is focused on puzzle solving. I actually find it kind of interesting and amusing because she's obviously the more physically fit and the more minded toward combat, and yet they didn't give her the combat challenges. Now we've got to figure out what spell we're going to cast. Well, we're trying to stop Pious and Xel'lotath, and the best way to do that is going to be to summon the other god that is dominant to Xel'lotath. We're going to summon Xel'lotath to defeat him. Oh, yeah, keep an eye out. Trappers are going to be the main threat that you fight. You can use them to get your magic or sanity back if you don't feel like doing the magic pool, but I really don't care about going through their dimension. Thankfully here, the floor is still there. Actually, I can't tell. Are we still tinted green from the spell or not? Regardless, once you make that floor appear... Yep, there we go. That just wore off. I can't go back in. That's... Oh, because ammo!
Can't be happening.
Yeah, once the spell wears off, the floor's just there. Now, let's actually run to the door. Nice thing is, if you're quick, you don't need a full recast of the shield to get through. Let's head around. This is all going to seem very, very familiar. So if you didn't do Edwards too long ago, you should remember the pathways to take. And again, most of the runes are going to be Pargon. You're not going to have to worry about making a wrong choice with those. Now, let's see. Try to remember. Ah, this is a fun one. This is one where, if you remember, with his, we came in and there was kind of a... I'm going to call it a zoo. I'm going to cast a low-level one just because of some quick healing. And a trapper, a zombie, and a horror burst free from containment. Well, we need to put them back. Specifically, summon a blue trapper, red zombie, and green horror. Needs to be those colors. You can tell by the little plinths here. Bring them onto the platform. And they get sealed away. Repeat that with all three, and we'll be able to get out of this room. Like I said, it's kind of interesting what they did with this. Oops, too close to the platform. You know, as I was casting, I was thinking to myself, I'm not standing in the best spot for this, am I? Alright. Zombie, come along. Shamble into your cell. Yeah, we'll call it a cell. It's kind of a weird display case, and if you look up at the walls, you can see there's other creatures, like that thing, which... Thankfully, we never had to fight one of those. There's one of the Greater Guardians. It's kind of neat. There's something weird and humanoid up there. Anyway, it's finally time, after we got this spell episodes ago, to cast Summon Horror. Yep, the only point in the game you actually need to cast this. And we have a horror brought in. After a horror has been summoned, press A to attack enemies. They can be targeted using R. Attack an enemy's head from far away to perform a shock attack. You press start to release control of the horror, and much like zombies, they can open doors but not pick up items. Alright, wander over. And... what? Oh my god, my sanity. My sanity wore out. Actually, you know what? We're going to use my Enchanted Gladius. I can't believe it. I was like, what happened? My sanity wore out, and I wasn't able to keep him summoned. Well, ain't that a kick in the pants? Alright, let's get a little bit back. How's my magic? Let's get magic pool going. I totally forgot about the whole sanity requirement. I didn't get him on the platform fast enough, and so he basically broke free of my control. That's actually hilarious. Let's try this again. And there you go, the rare time where you have to summon a horror a second time, because you screwed up the first time. Wow, why are you all the way over there? There we go. Get back in your cell. How's my magic doing? It's coming along. Oops, stuck on that. Brazier. Now that we've put all three of them back in their cell, the pathway out of here opens. And... tell me I got enough for full shield? Yes, barely. Okay, that's... I'm seriously cracking up at that. Anyway, we're almost half done with this. Continue on to activate this array. Now, it's been a few days since I recorded Edward, so I don't remember the order of things. Ooh, Trapper, real close. Do revolver for you. Boom. And this should be another Pargon. Perfect. Head in. Ah, this is a neat one. How's my magic? Let's do a full magic pool. So this is a weird purple floor we've never seen before. If you move quickly on it, running, walking normal speed, it will trigger a worm to come out of this giant hole. It'll sap your sanity, make you have an illusion. You have to restore your sanity to full, and then you get warped back here as if you never crossed the path. Don't even bother triggering it, just tilt the control stick gently. Make sure Alex is tiptoeing. Do this, and you can get safely across. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one-off thing they did there, but it's not too bad as long as you just move slowly. Now head in here. Let's loop around this side. I forget what exactly each each tower is. But that's kind of the fun, getting to rediscover as you go. I honestly don't find these nearly as hard as the combat ones, because you're not constantly getting drained sanity and then health. Oh, this one. This is kind of a fun one. We got 3 horrors locked in a barrier together. You can't dispel that, but what do we say we use our last spell, Bind, to take control of one of them and have them fight to the death? All you gotta do is do that, let it take over. You know what, while they're fighting, let's renew my shield to full. You need to get it to where there's only one of them left, which probably will require binding 2 different times. Oh, nope, one of them defeated. Oh, wow, ours won. Again, that happened last time. I'm legitimately shocked. And you're legitimately dead. Put that shotgun to use. It's a 7 ammo shotgun with a heck of a range. And, oh, right. This one is actually fortuitous we came this way because you can see the magic barrier at a distance. Let's go ahead. Dispel magic. Should do 7-pointed. Sadly, it's going to get rid of our magic pool, but we can refresh that. Yep, went away. So let's refresh the pool. And I'm pretty sure our shield is going to be full enough if we just run straight across. We should only lose 2 or 3. Yep, only lost 2 orbs. So that gives us plenty to get back to the portal room here. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, cutting it close. Oh, darn. I actually did get hit a little bit. Alright. Let's do a full health recover. Oops. Oh well. Nothing we can't heal past. Head up here. And are there any trappers at this tower? Nope. Seems we're good. Actually, you know, our magic is full again. Let's refresh that shield. You're seriously going to be casting the shield a lot. Oops. I cast the blue one instead of the green. Well, doesn't really matter. It's mostly for the floor. Now remember, we said We want to summon in the other creature. Yep, we're doing a 9-point summon creature spell. Yeah, I'm sure this is gonna go well. Head in here, and this is the room we ran through after the last one with the Dispel Magic spot on the floor, so this time, really close. And I know for a fact, having lost only one orb there, we definitely have enough to make it to the door this time. Yeah, unfortunately it's so far back. Oh, really? It's because she's running out of stamina. Darn it. Well, we still made it. And let's give myself the shield back. Poor Alex. She's young, she's got a lot of stamina, but she can't run forever. Let's just walk this time to get a little bit regained. And you can run up the platform. I'll walk down to, again, get a little bit more stamina back. Another Paragon rune. Don't remember what our next objective is. I have a guess, but... Ah, yes! This one has some, pedestals much like the one that vampiric creature used. And they're blocking the exit. If you go over to destroy them, they're out of reach. You could try shooting them, it's not going to do a thing. Wait, really? Oh, that's what it is. I forgot why shooting didn't work. It's because you shoot one, the others heal it, and summon a horror. So, let's kill you. Actually, loop around so I don't accidentally shoot the other thing. There we go. Yeah, you do not want to shoot them with your gun. Instead, what you want to do is cast, where is it? Magical attack. 7-point attack. Doesn't actually matter which rune you pick. But cast this and watch it chain to all 3 of them. And with them all hit, the barrier goes down. Now, let's see. Let's get a full magic pool going again. Get our magic back. Ooh, maybe I should have done a shield first. Nah, we need our magic back. Trappers. No sense using the shotgun. Let's use the revolver. Kill them off. I can hear you. And now you're all dead. See? Oop. Accidentally moved while she was reloading. This gives me a chance something I never talked about. I always went to the menu to reload if I wasn't fully out of ammo, but you can actually press and hold the Z button to start reloading early. Just keep holding it until they're done reloading or they'll stop midway through. Kinda neat. Not really something I find that needed or useful, but I don't know, your results may vary. Let's refresh our shield to full because we got a long run ahead of us. Yep, all the way from the back left. You want a full shield to do this. But we're getting there. We've almost got all of the arrays activated. Alright. Second to last one. You gonna try to surprise me with some trappers? Yeah, there's one. Ha. And our last Paragon rune. You know what? Our magic's full. Re-up that shield. It's actually kind of, I feel, an ingenious magic balancing system that you have to not move while the spell's being cast. It makes the 5 and 7 point spells not nearly overpowered as they could be. If they were just instant cast, there'd be no reason to ever use the weaker ones in combat as long as you have the magical, you know, the MP for it. Now they've gone invisible. Cast Reveal Invisible, you only have to do a 3-point one for these because they're just trappers. But reveal them, and there's no real reason to shoot those up there, but you know what? I wanted to. Got a few more still wandering around somewhere. There's one. Got them all. Perfect. Oh! I totally didn't even see that one right there. Well, luckily he missed us as we went through the door. They blend in a little bit. Run back. We're almost done with resetting up this array. Wait, why did you just stop and shoot? Every now and then, my control will do something weird like that. I don't know why. Magic's full, re-up the shield. It's always so funny when you hear the spells going off going, Paragon, Paragon, Paragon. At least they space it out with the spells so it's not just saying the one word 4 times in a row, you know, over and over and over and over again. If we head up here, you'll notice it's time to select the rune. And of course, since we're going against Xel'lotath, we want to summon Xel'lotath. And it's changed color again. We've assigned the alignment. Let's make one last run back to that portal chamber. Shouldn't be any more enemies in our way, so let's do full magic pool. Make sure our magic's topped off. And our shield's already at full. Do that. Equip our Gladius. And one last run across the damage floor, back up here. We've done it. We have powered up everything. The spell's ready to go. Let's refresh our shield to full. Can't hurt. And as we go forward, before you proceed, would you like to save your current progress? Yeah, let's do that. So, it kind of warns you, save here, because, oh boy, we're going into the final fight. Let's do this.
Miss Rivers, you're just in time. The summoning spell I began 2,000 years ago is finally complete. You will now have the honor of becoming the first morsel for my lord, Xel'lotath. An appetizer for the banquet your race shall provide.
You forget what it means to be human, Pious. The human race will never go quietly into the darkness. For as long as you have spent summoning your lord, people have struggled against you. Now, thanks to their efforts, I have 3 of the Ancient's essences. Now, Pious, this is the end.
The end indeed.
and we have summoned Xel'lotath to fight against Ulioth up in the heavens. But down here on the ground, the essence of Ulioth is still in Pious' possession. It's going to cast a shield on him and disappear. So what we need to do is run up to Pious and smack him. You see a bolt of magic appear, and it'll chain over to where the essence is, becoming visible. Oh, anytime he casts a spell that is purple, he is casting Dispel Magic. Get your shield back up right away. Then run over, smack the essence, and it will disappear again. Smack Pious one more time. Get my shield back up. And the essence of Chattur'gha reappears. Hit it! We're getting flashes of that corridor. Alright, get our shield back up. Alright, then third time, hit it. And we're in the corridor with the statues. And it's Elia. You may remember they've been saying a gathering of light? Well, looks like the spirits of those who've fallen trying to fight Pious are coming to our aid. Let's grab the tome, and she's brought into the arena. Now, when this happens, the essence has moved, but it's still visible. Find it. There it is. And you want to hit it with Elia. And when you hit it with Elia, you'll turn back into Alex. You need to repeat the process. Hit him. Oh, nope, don't cast it yet. Okay, now. Otherwise, he would have just dispelled it as soon as it went off. Alright, hit him. The essence, oh, it's up there this time. And when we hit the essence this time, we turn into Anthony. Run past him. You don't want to get hit by Pious as a spirit. It'll slow you down. There we go. Smack that essence of Xel'lotath. Hit him again. Get that shield back up. You want to keep your shield up at all times. Alright, and the third one, we become Kareem. Thankfully, Dispel Magic doesn't really do anything against the spirits. And smack it for a third time. The battle in the sky is starting to go in Xel'lotath's favor. We have to just continue the second phase. Now, yes, you'll see he'll cast Magical Attack. You want to avoid it because it will take your entire shield away. And in fact, if you don't have a shield, it'll do a lot of damage. You see our next spirit is Maximilian. Now, he's pretty slow, so you want to try to stay far away from Pious if you can. Ooh. Ow, he got a hit on me. It's okay, get the shield back up, smack the essence, and we turn into Luther, who's surprisingly quick for a man of the cloth. Oh, come on, hit it. There we go. Hit him for a sixth time. Let's head up here. And this one can be a tough one because you're playing as Roberto and he is easily the slowest of the spirits. But avoid Pious and smack it. Oh, I missed! Ah, crap. Okay, so that's what happens if you get hit by Pious, you turn back into Alex and ow. Alright, you know what, I'm just gonna hit the thing here. Okay, seriously, I cannot seem to hit the artifacts. There we go. Oh good, it gave it close. Sixth hit, and with that, the artifact shatters. So now it's time. No, cut that part out. Oh, that battle is not going Ulioth's way. It's kind of neat how Ulioth is using magic, but Xel'lotath is using sanity to basically make it see what's not there and defeat it. At this point, it just becomes a slugging match. Smack Pious a couple times to get rid of his shield. Oh, speaking of, he's getting rid of ours. As long as your third rune triggers after the Dispel goes off, you can start it before it casts. And as a result, you can time it well to move. Alright, his shield's gone. Just keep hitting him. And now we're actually doing damage to him. Slowly but surely, we are hurting him. Ooh, I got a couple hits on him there. Usually he'll teleport away after one hit. Now, I'll tell you, he casts Dispel Magic a lot during this phase. If he's off screen and you hear him laugh, that means he's casting Dispel Magic. So get ready to put your shield up right away. Yeah, you can kind of hear the laughter there. He's also starting to move a little more slowly. You can see he's kind of hunched, the way we get when we're wounded. Ooh, got several good hits on him. Just keep up the pain. And in no time... Come on, where are you? There you are. We deal the finishing blow. He's down.
Is not so easily destroyed. No, my death is just the beginning.
What have I done?
Quickly, Alex! We must find this creature! It cannot be allowed to remain in this universe!
So you'll notice Edward was the only spirit who didn't come and aid us. And sure enough, we have summoned a horror into our existence to defeat another one, but if we leave it be, bad things are going to happen. So we need to bind it. So instead of summon creature, we need to change the rune to protect creature to bind it.
Ah, that's the ticket. It is finally over, my dear. The Ancients' plans are finished. For now, at least. You have proved to be an incredibly courageous young woman. Your mother and father would have been proud of you, just as I am. I'm sorry it had to be like this. It's not quite the inheritance I had in mind for you, but there was so little time, and so much to do. Goodbye, Alex. I will miss you.
As I gazed up at the ancient I had brought into this world to stop Pious, my mistake was made clear. This ancient could lay the world to ruin just as easily as Pious's would have. And yet, as quickly as it began, it ended. To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of reality, to see those who dwell behind. I was once a fool.
And that is the end of Eternal Darkness. We defeated Pious, we obliterated the ancient he summoned, and we bound and put away the ancient we had to summon to defeat him. You've overcome the darkness that has prevailed for over 2 millennia. This accomplishment will begin a new era for humanity. Now, would you like to record this grand occasion in the pages of human history? Yes. Save and continue. And it saves it to a hidden master file on your memory card. It saves the fact that we cleared the game defeating Xel'lotath. So, if you start a new game, it recognizes that. I'll get into that in a little bit. But for now that we're going through the credits, I want to give my thoughts on the game. It's a weird game, but I quite like it. I'm not usually a fan of horror games, but I feel this one does it in a way that's not, what's the best word, not insulting to the player. It's not jump scares, it's not cheap horror. It's designed to mess with your head. The sanity effects are honestly, half the time, more amusing than frightening, especially nowadays that TV interfaces don't look like the mute and volume and stuff like that, but there's still some that absolutely catch you off guard, like suddenly spawning in a room where a bunch of zombies are attacking you, your controller's not working, those type of things. The sanity effects are truly the shining part of this game. The gameplay itself it's fine. It's not anything to write home about, but it is enjoyable. The different levels of monsters are kind of fun to figure out how to handle each one, and the different alignments make for interesting challenges. And the game as a whole it's kind of neat playing it through the different alignments to see how things change. In particular, I'm going to go ahead and say I hope you've enjoyed what I did for this LP to kind of show the different playthroughs and how it changed, how you saw different things, how you fought different things. It was a new way of trying that out, and I think I did well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. The music. It's fine. It's not great. Honestly, the music itself is only okay, but most of the time, what really stands out was the sound direction for the sound effects, the background music, or the background noise, the ambience. When you would hear, like walking through the mansion, suddenly hear footsteps on the other side of the wall, or hear somebody crying in the distance, or knocking on a door and think somebody was there. Those subtle sanity effects were fantastic. And honestly, they make this game a joy to go back to time and time again. But you may be wondering, well, you can play the game through 3 different ways. It saves your clear data at the end. What happens if you play the game through 3 times in a row, saving the clear data each time? Well, I'm going to show you. It's kind of neat what they do with that. Shigeru Miyamoto, Satoru Iwata, Kenshi Miki I'm not as familiar with, but those great names at Nintendo, and Hiroshi Yamauchi It's still crazy to me that this was a Nintendo game. But, you know, more power to them. They made something long-lasting. So, we defeated Xel'lotath. Let's see what happens if we defeat... let's go after Chattur'gha next. I'll jump ahead and show you some ways it's different. So right away, the first thing, rather than jump ahead, I just let the game load up to it, is we now have a credits option on the main menu. Just for having one clear save on our memory card, it lets us see the credits anytime we want. And if we do start a new game, it'll access the data on the memory cards. It'll see you have previously completed Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem with the following alignments. Xel'lotath. Would you like to carry this information over to a new game? If you select no, it starts a new game like we've played through with nothing special. But if you select yes, well, why don't we see what it does? And our first thing is right at the beginning of the game. As soon as you have control of Alex, we can go into the menu and go over to the journal. We already have, first of all the cinemas unlocked because we've already seen them all. And all the autopsies we got on the Xel'lotath path. So the Chatarga zombie, the trappers, the zombie, bone thief, horror, and guardian for Xel'lotath. Now you get the guardian every time, but you had to make sure you scanned each of them. So if for some reason you missed the Chatarga zombie, which right in your path, or you missed the trapper because you didn't go back to the kitchen, this is the opportunity to do it on the next playthrough. Why don't we jump ahead to after we've done Max's story, and I can show you what I mean. So, we just finished Maximilian's chapter, and I'll tell you the two biggest differences that happen with playing a different alignment, as I've shown throughout this LP, is that you see different cutscenes, and you encounter different alignments of enemies. Now, in a room where you fight a horror, you'll always fight a horror, but a lot of times if you play picking Chattur'gha, it'll be a red horror you come across. As a result, when we go through Maximilian's story, we encounter a whole bunch of Chattur'gha zombies this time, bone thief, horror, and guardian. So you'll see by keeping our save data and playing through again, you can fill out the autopsies to have all of them. And, you know, maybe we'll also go through and get the Xel'lotath ones. In addition, let's see, I'm pretty sure if I go through here... Yep, now that we're going through some of the cinemas, this one is one where it specifically changes what you see depending on which you chose. And you see in the top right corner, you can select which one. It'll change the color effects or which creatures are accompanying him, that type of stuff. Also, let's take a moment and save, because I want to show you, if you've been saving as you go through, you'll always notice in the upper right corner the alignment you chose. So this was the save right before fighting Pious at the end of the game, with Xel'lotath in the top right, because that's what Pious picked. Let's go ahead and save. And now it's got the Chattur'gha red in the upper right corner. But you'll see the blue in the upper left shows we have the clear data for Xel'lotath. So we're going to keep going. There's nothing really else to show that's different that I haven't shown already, except let's jump ahead to witness the big final climactic battle between the ancients if we picked Chattur'gha.
is not so easily destroyed. No, my death is just the beginning.
What have I done?
Quickly, Alex! We must find this creature! It cannot be allowed to remain in this universe! Ah, that's the ticket.
And much like when we defeated Ulioth, defeating Chattur'gha gives us this message that we've overcome the darkness. Let's save and continue, and then start a brand new file looking at maybe taking on the final of the three ancients. And now that we have cleared the game 2 times, another option has showed up on the main menu. Jump to game. You can immediately jump to any point in the story. You can live through each character's chapter. Kind of neat that they've got them all broken down like this. Also, since we have the clear data, when it checks the memory card, you have previously completed Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem with the following alignments: Chattur'gha and Ulioth. Would you like to carry this information over to a new game? Yes, I would. And something cool with this, we can now skip cutscenes. Yeah, because we've got the clear data, it makes playing through much quicker on subsequent playthroughs because, I mean, if you've already seen it, it's not a big deal. You might as well go through it quickly. So let's take these guys out. Now, I never showed it the very first time, but you can actually do targeting in this part the way you normally would. It doesn't really matter because you have no health, or well, infinite health, and infinite ammo. But we can even reload and keep up the fight. But eventually, it will cut away. There it goes. Yeah, and you may not have realized that's Maximilian talking there. But let's skip this. And we're back at the very beginning. And much like last time we did what I'm going to call a New Game Plus, the autopsies carry over. So we've got the Matarok zombie, the Trapper, and all 5, Chattur'gha and Ulioth. So I'll jump ahead. We'll make sure we grab all of the Xel'lotath autopsies. If you're going for what I would call completion, this is really the only truly missable thing that you can get on your first 2 playthroughs. If you want to go for 100% completion, you also want to find all of the spell scrolls. You can learn the spells without them, but it will show it as just spell number 1, spell number 2. The scrolls are technically missable. So I'd say grab those if you want full completion on your 3rd playthrough. And with that, let's jump ahead. Once again, we finish Max's story, and in so doing, we can go and check the autopsy. It's completely full. Yep, we have all 4 zombies. We've got the Trapper, 3 Bone Thieves, 3 Horrors, 3 Guardians. And as I said, if you want to at some point, you can listen to his commentary on them from other playthroughs, like not in his chapter. Kind of a neat bonus. All that's left now is to jump ahead to the final battle to see what happens if we take the fight to Pious and Xel'lotath. And maybe something will happen for beating the game for the third alignment. See you in a moment.
Darkness is not so easily destroyed. No, my death is just the beginning.
What have I done?
Quickly, Alex! We must find this creature! It cannot be allowed to remain in this universe! Ah, that's the ticket.
And so, with defeating the third alignment, it gives us the option once more to save our clear progress. When we do, select the memory card, it will unlock something special in the journal. Let's go ahead and jump to a save file where we can see what it unlocked. And we're back at the very beginning of the game. This time, if we go into the save, you'll see it has all three symbols in the upper left showing that we've cleared all the alignments. And, of course, all the autopsies, but go to the cinema and scroll all the way down to the very end. And you get a bonus video. Something you don't get unless you do all three playthroughs. Epilogue. Beyond the veil, things aren't as they seem.
And so it comes to pass. Of the three ancients, there is nothing. The mighty Chattur'gha has obliterated the insanity of Xel'lotath. The madness of Xel'lotath has overcome the power of Ulyaoth. The boundless Ulyaoth has decimated the power of Chattur'gha. All at once, separate and simultaneous. For the universe is made of many time streams, many possibilities, all in harmonious synchronicity. Only Mantarok remains, slowly dying. Mantarok, keeper, overseer, warden of ancients, chaos, an entity trapped between the veils of reality and the enchanted stakes that impale its flesh. Unable to rally its guardians, it could rely only on its subtle manipulations of the Roivas family to destroy its enemies. Knowing the nature of the ancients, it used its pawns to play them against each other, resulting in their mutual annihilation. Now it will languish forever, festering in its tomb, plotting.
So yeah, it reveals Mantarok was behind everything, and that all three paths happened simultaneously in alternate universes. That's actually the core reason why I decided to do this LP the way I did, where they were all sort of taking place side by side. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this LP. I really would love to hear feedback if you liked what I did with the jumping across the different alignments. Next time, maybe we'll do something a little less horror related. I hope you've had fun, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next project. See you guys next time.